Hey guys, welcome in. How's everybody doing? My name's Shannon. We're here today with a timeless Aquarius reading. And I just want to preface this by saying it feels like this is going to be a pretty heavy reading. It feels like it has to do with forgiveness on some level. And I was sitting with your energy, Aquarius, and I pulled a couple of the archetype cards. And what we had come out was the venom and the self. And I just made a few notes so I didn't have to sit here and read through both of these for you guys. But the venom basically, in my little handy dandy notebook, the venom basically speaks to self-realization through suffering. It says, the spreading of venom is like a chain reaction. When we strike others, it is likely we ourselves have been struck. Break the cycle. And the self is a call to step back in to witness consciousness, to observe yourself navigating the world, witnessing and accepting new aspects of the self. So oftentimes when we have readings that revolve around forgiveness, we inevitably get a lot of comments that say, like, I will never forgive this person. And that's completely understandable that that's what you're feeling. Trust me, I get it. But I just wanted to kind of give a slightly different take on forgiveness. When we forgive others, it's not for them, it's for ourselves. When we forgive others, it's not saying that what they did was okay. It's not condoning their actions, their behaviors, or the situation that occurred in any way, shape, or form. What forgiveness does for us is forgiveness allows us to say, I forgive you. And in doing so, this allows me to release you, the situation, whatever it is, fully, completely, and then give that over to spirit or God or source or the universe or however you want to view it, for them to deal with it at a karmic level. So in no way is our forgiveness okaying what has happened to us. Instead, it's releasing us from having to deal with that issue. And it turns it over to the higher good to deal with that karmically. And it allows for us to move on from that situation and to do so while at the same time working on healing ourselves, because we're not carrying that venom around with us. We're not carrying that hatred. We're not carrying whatever it is that comes along with the need for forgiveness. We're able then to fully release that and move on. Okay. With that said, I don't know why that needed to be said, Aquarius, but it needed to be said, so. All right, we're going to jump in with the tarot. All right, what do we need to know about this venom, about this? What's this situation we're dealing with here for Aquarius? Interesting, the Knight of Pentacles, the Two of Cups. What led up to this? The Eight of Wands and the Ten of Swords. So this deck, I'm going to hold this card up so you guys can see it. This deck has 2 Tens of Swords and 2 Three of Swords. I'm sorry, guys, I'm shaking. Like I said, this energy is very heavy. This particular Ten of Swords card is about us coming to a completion mentally. Is about us coming to terms with something completely, realizing what we needed to realize out of it, and then being able to step out of that cycle and start a new cycle. With the Eight of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles coming out, it looks like maybe this is something that you've been trying to work through, work on, but you've been trying to come at this from a logical place, from a grounded place. And maybe you've been feeling kind of rushed or really feeling pushed to sort of hone in on whatever this is that's been bothering you. so that you can move on, so that you can move forward with your life. But it has been a slow going process here with the Knight of Pentacles. Alternatively, for others of you, this could be you waiting on someone else to come through. And the Knight of Pentacles is dreadfully slow. And with the Eight of Wands here preceding this, you might be feeling like, when is this going to happen? Is this going to happen? And it may or may not. Again, I feel like we're dealing with a situation here where something has been done to you, where you feel like you have been wronged in some way. Maybe in a very severe way too, from the energy that I'm picking up. So for some of you, you might be waiting on this other party to actually come through. And I feel like Spirit's saying, you know, we need to flip that script. We need to turn around and we need to look at ourselves from an outside perspective and ask if we're going about this in the correct way. Not to kind of judge, not to judge ourselves in any way, shape, or form, because we all go through things in our own ways. Not to judge ourselves, but to give ourselves a different perspective on the situation that could help us get to the place of healing. But with the Ten of Swords being on the bottom of the deck here, it feels like you guys are moving towards a place where you're getting towards this, like this mental continuity. I don't know why that's the word I want to use. This mental continuity of the whole situation. Everything's kind of coming together. You're kind of getting through this, but I feel like you're doing it on your own. What energy is working against us right now, Spirit? Interesting, the King of Pentacles. King of Wands on the bottom of the deck. So again, we have this dichotomy between the Pentacles and the Wands. So it's like there's this desire to act, but at the same time, we're really going through this we're trying to stay grounded. We're trying to stay even keeled, but there's kind of this burning inside of us to act upon something. And it seems like right now, this desire to truly stay grounded through this is not allowing you to see the whole situation for what it is. So there's a need to step out of this very, you know, like I said, even keeled energy and really look at this from another perspective. What energy is working with us? The Nine of Cups. You guys haven't lost hope. You guys still have hope. Even if it's just a little tiny flame burning inside of you that you're not aware of still, it's there. You guys still have it within you to be happy. But you need to grab this. We need to step out of this Pentacles energy and more into this Wands energy and start to take action on whatever this is. And I don't feel like this is an outward action. I don't feel like this is, you know, going tit for tat with someone. This is a major leap in some way for you to realize that you have it within yourself to, as I said previously, forgive and pass whatever this pain is over to Spirit, over to God, over to the universe, and allow them to deal with it from here on out. Yeah, we have the Page of Swords on the bottom of the deck. I really feel like you guys are learning, like this is all happening so that you can learn more about an aspect of yourself that maybe hasn't really fully been nurtured prior to this happening. And oftentimes, you know, in life, bad things will happen to help us understand ourselves on a deeper level. What's our guidance here, Spirit? Ooh. Whoa, we got cards flying all over the place. All right, the one that came out and face up is the Ace of Swords. So our guidance here is to find clarity. The Two of Wands. To start looking in a different direction. To start opening up our eyes and our ears, because when we're in a situation where we are filled with this venom, where we're filled with this anger, this rage, or this feeling of having wrongdoing occur to us in some way, when we're in this space, it's hard to see clearly. It's hard to see the truth. And I feel like that's where the self card is coming in. And that's why this was another archetype that came out for you guys, because it is asking you to step outside of yourself and to look in from that third party perspective. And at that point, we'll really be able to see clearly what actually happened, why it happened, and what our best course of action is to move forward. We have the Two of Wands, the Nine of Wands, and Justice down here, guys, and I'm going to pull these out and show them to you. So it's like we're feeling fatigued, we're feeling exhausted, we don't want to keep going, we have been through the ringer, we are really, really feeling it. But Spirit's reminding you that you're resilient, that you can get through this, that you can keep going, and that things will turn out justly. But it's not going to be through your hands that this justice is going to be served. With the Justice card especially coming out, this is about, things happening on a karmic level, things happening through a spiritual means. And by allowing us to release all of this, we're then able to move on with our lives. We're then able to see the good in a very bad situation. And oftentimes when we're feeling hurt or we're feeling like, someone deserves to get theirs, we want to see that. We want to see it happen. As terrible as that sounds, I think that's just the human condition. We want to make sure that this person gets what they deserve because they hurt us, right? And I feel like that's something that also needs to be released in whatever the situation is for you, Aquarius. There is a need to release this desire to see the retribution happen. And once we're able to let go of that, then we're going to be able to actually move forward. Then we're actually going to be able to get out of this really low vibrational situation, this feeling. Because whatever this is, Aquarius, it doesn't feel good. Like just sitting with your energy, it feels very dense. It feels very heavy. It feels very painful, if I'm being honest. What's the outcome here, Spirit? The Eight of Cups. With the Ten of Cups on the bottom of the deck. There's a need to walk away from something here, emotionally. I feel like we're trying to deal with things in the 3D space. We're trying to deal with something that happened to us and we're trying to make sense of this mentally, right? But at the root of whatever this problem is, Aquarius, it's about how something affected us emotionally. And oftentimes when something happens to us emotionally, we're not going to be able to see our way out of it through mental means, let's put it that way. We can't think our way out of an emotional situation because sometimes emotions just aren't logical. So there's a need to go within ourselves to see the truth of this situation for what it is mentally. And then once we get to that place, we're going to be able to make this decision to say, you know what? Let's choose to forgive. Let's choose to pour this cup out that we're still carrying around with us and move on. Yeah, we have Death, the Three of Wands, and the Ten of Cups down here. So there's a need for this transition to take place. And this is a major transition. I feel like it's, and this could just be for some of you, but I feel like whatever this is that happened, it really was the catalyst for whatever this death is. Whatever this major transition you need to go through, as terrible as that sounds, whatever this is that caused you pain is acting as a catalyst to move you from one way of thinking, one way of being, one way of dealing with issues to a new way of being able to deal with things, to being able to see things at a higher level. Okay. Do you have any more guidance for Aquarius? We have the High Priestess coming out. The Ace of Wands here. As I always say, guys, make sure you're following your intuition. Things may not always be as clear as you would hope for them to be in whatever this is that you're dealing with, okay? So this is going to be very much an internal journey for you if this is something that you're going through. And with the High Priestess coming out, I feel like, especially with the Ace of Wands in conjunction with this, I feel like this is saying that there's something within you that you have not yet seen, but there's a part of you that is going to allow for you to uncover whatever this is that's going to help you move through this. Whatever is going to help you to release this, forgive fully, and to transfer that need for retribution over to a higher power so that you can move on with your life. I feel like we need to pull one more card. What else do you want to say, Spirit? Yeah, the Seven of Wands. You guys definitely are feeling like you need to protect yourself. Like, it's this feeling where, you know, somebody does you wrong and you then feel the need to stand up and say, hey, that's not the truth. You know, you don't know me. You know, nobody knows me better than I know myself. And it's kind of like we're fighting against the wind almost. Us trying to defend ourselves against whatever this attack was, whatever this is that's put you in this place of feeling all this pain. Defending ourselves against this isn't going to help us move forward. If anything, it's just going to keep us stuck in the same headspace. So we've got to release this feeling, and I know I've been there. It's almost like this clawing feeling that we've got to stick up for ourselves. We've got to stand up for ourselves. Otherwise, they're getting one over on us, right? When that's not the case. Whatever this is, whatever you have gone through, and I'm certain it's likely different for each and every one of you. This is a major, major turning point in your life, where after we move through this, you're never going to deal with people or situations that cause you pain in the same way again. It's going to be easier to forgive. It's going to be easier to see the truth in situations because we're letting go of a piece of our ego that's holding us back. So guys, if you're going through this, please remember, take a step outside of yourself, take a step outside of the situation, and remember that by carrying this venom around with us, we're not hurting that other person. We're only hurting ourselves. And you do have it within you to forgive fully and to move on with your life, no matter how horrific, how terrible the situation was. It's within you, and Spirit is guiding you to get to this place. And it's not going to be an overnight process. This might take a day, this might take a week, this might take 3-4 months. Don't judge your journey against the journey of others. Just make sure you keep putting one foot in front of the other and taking those baby steps towards the self-actualization that Spirit's calling for you to experience at this point. All right, my friends, that's where we're going to leave it at today. I apologize for such a heavy reading, but somebody needed to hear this. Absolutely, somebody needed to hear this. And I hope that if this reading was for you, this helps bring some clarity or confirmation. As always, if you guys have any questions or, are confused, my email and everything is linked below. Please feel free to reach out to me if you feel called to. I love you guys so much. And I'm wishing you all peace and love and joy and harmony. And I know that you will all attain that. Keep going. All right, my friends, thanks so much for being here. I'll talk to you again soon.